Okay, here we go. Lesson 7 on fellowship or your teammates. And you see that circle, that wheel in the middle. The vertical spokes going up and down is our relationship with God. We speak to God through prayer, and God speaks to us through His word, through the Bible. And I encourage you to go back and review lesson number 3 on the Bible, God's playbook, and lesson 4, Can You Hear Me, Coach? That's on prayer and stuff. So review those lessons. Today we're going to cover one of the horizontal spokes. Witnessing is how you relate to non-believers, and fellowship is how you relate with Christians or other followers of Jesus Christ. Fellowship means like you have, let's say you play video games and you talk about video games with your friends. Well, you have video games fellowship. And so let's say you talk about sports with your friends. So you have sports fellowship. And Christian fellowship is when you talk about Jesus, when you encourage each other, correct each other, build each other up. And fellowship is just really awesome. We're social people, and God wants us to experience that. And so here's some verses and principles about fellowship. Okay, here's fill in the blanks here. If you have the workbook, this is lesson 7. One of the strongest needs in life is the need to belong. We are acceptant addicts. We want to belong. That's a basic need God created with us. God wants a family. He wants your main need to belong with other followers of Jesus. One of the biggest, greatest joys in this life is to be part of a group that has a positive influence and tries to follow Jesus. If your main need to belong is met with a group of people who are not followers of Christ, you'll really struggle in your relationship with God and not have much joy. So that's something you need to, you probably it's not real in your life, but you need to work towards that and start to develop that and pray for it, because God has a family for you, a Christian family to belong to. One time we were at Red Robin. We used to take about 50 people on Thursday nights up to Tri-Cities to a youth group called The River. It was about 500 people, and it was just really awesome. And afterwards in the summer, we'd go to Red Robin. And I remember 2 guys were a year out of high school, and they were sitting there at Red Robin that had just been to the river. They both had asked Christ in their life. And this one guy says, Justin, my common bond with you used to be drugs, and now it's Jesus. And having a common bond with Jesus is so much better. And man, that's just really, really inspiring, and that's really true. So here's a verse in Hebrews 10:24 and 25. Think of ways to encourage one another to outbursts of love and good deeds. And let us not neglect meeting together as some people do, but encourage and warn each other. So here's 3 things God wants you to do from this verse. First of all, He wants you to think of ways to brainstorm how to do love and good. So you're hanging out with 2, 3 friends on a Friday night, you have nothing to do. Just think, man, what can we do to show love to people? What can we do to be good to people? Maybe there's someone who's right now is kind of lonely. Maybe you can invite them out and call them up and go out for get a pop or something like that. But brainstorm on ways to do good. And then He wants you to meet together. That's a command, okay? And you should meet together, just not to a church service where it's a big and a lot of people, but a youth group or a small group of people. And then He wants you to encourage one another. Guys are really sarcastic, and we tease each other and put each other down a lot. And we should build each other up. And each period of the day, all day long, we should try to encourage and think of positive things about people to build them up. So those are 3 things God wants you to do. Brainstorm how to do love and good works, meet together and encourage each other. We had these 3 girls, I call them the action trio. They would intentionally do that. They'd show up to a youth group or campus life thinking, who can we reach out to? And the 3 of them would go talk to a lonely person. Or on so a weekend, and they think, what can we do this weekend to encourage and build up people? Okay, pictures there. There's the pictures of the cords. Are you plugged in, connected to a Christian group? And the logs in the fire burn hot together. You take the log out of the fire, it starts to go out. When we separate from other followers of Jesus, we're not going to burn very hot, and our fire will go out. Okay, a couple more verses here. Ephesians 4:16. He makes the whole body. Now, God calls Himself his followers a family, and they're like a team, but they're more than that. They're a body. Like if you have an ingrown toenail, part of your body, it makes the whole body suffer. If each body part is healthy, everything works together for the good and stuff. So He makes the whole body fit together perfectly, and each part does its own special work. It helps the other parts grow so that the whole body, or all of God's family, is healthy and growing in love. God wants His family to grow and to be healthy and full of love. And so here's some things that we can take from this verse. God calls His followers not a family, not but a body, okay? Because we are so dependent on each other. God's family, team, or body needs you and you need them. So if you do your part, just like if a football player on the team does his blocking assignment, the whole team benefits. If someone misses out on their blocking assignment, it could ruin the whole play. So we're dependent on each other. Here's a little video that kind of demonstrates that. Okay, a bolt doesn't seem that big of a deal, but the chair won't stand up without it. And you're like a bolt in God's family. You have a special assignment to do. And if you don't do it, God's family is not going to grow in love like it should be. And you need other people. I mean, you're not the backrest. You're not the seat. If you're just a bolt, I mean, you need those other parts to fit in. So some truths we can learn from Ephesians 4:16. You belong and have a special work to do, just like that bolt had a special work to do. You are important. You matter. You are important and you need to help people grow in their faith. Okay. You need to help other people. You're that bolt and they need you. You got to help other people. That's one of the reasons why you're on this earth. You need them to help you grow. All right. You need that. You're that bolt. You need the backrest. You need the legs. You need the seat and stuff. We're interdependent. We need each other. Okay. And we should all be growing. So you do your part in God's family. Someone else does their part in God's family. They're all our parts are different. Just like a leg to the chair or the seat or the backrest or the bolt, we're all important and we all do our function. Things grow and the world becomes a better place. By the way, this is the only solution in the world. I mean, the government's not going to solve anything. It's going to be God's family, everyone doing their part. Okay, he who walks with wise will become wise, but he who associates with the fools get in trouble. Now, a wise person is someone who sees stuff from God's point of view. A fool is someone who sees stuff from man's point of view. And you become like you hang around. It matters who you hang out with, okay? It matters. Tell me your friends and I'll tell you your future. That's just really so true. Studies show that you take your 5 best friends that you spend the most time with and you average them together, and that's become their values, their morals, their attitudes. And that's not 100% true, but basically that's really true. It matters who you come. So build your inner circle, love everybody, but build your inner circle around people who are trying to follow Jesus. That'll make a huge difference in your life. Proverbs 27:17, as iron sharpens iron, so we can improve each other. Okay, the 49ers used to have that in their locker room. Do you best friends sharpen you? Do they make you better? Are you a better person after you hang out with them? Are you inspired, more positive, or are you just filling up time? So here's some action steps, what you can do, real practical. Form a small group. Just get 2 people, 3 people, 4 or 5 people that want to follow Jesus. It's the same people every week. Share your problems and prayer requests and do some type of curriculum where you can grow spiritually. Listen to a video. If you need some advice, I can hook you up with all kinds of different resources. Small groups are one of the best ways to grow spiritually. Join a church youth group so you can meet some friends that want to follow Jesus. Plan to daily encourage and build up people. Like when you go back to school, go through each period. Who can I compliment in first period? Who can I compliment in second period? Who can I encourage third period? Maybe it's the teacher, but that'll help build others up. It'll make you a people magnet and it'll make yourself more positive. Evaluate your friendships. Do they influence you or do you influence them for good? Who's influencing you? No one's neutral. Everyone has an influence. And the most important decision in college is to join a Christian group. It's more important than your major. If you go to college, you're starting from fresh, and the peer group that you join, that you identify in, is going to determine your future. It could determine who you marry and stuff. And man, there's so many really cool Christian ministries at college, Young Life, the Crew, different churches have outreaches and stuff. And so I really encourage you guys to get plugged into that. Okay, review and do. Okay, think of ways to love and do good in your peer group. Meet together, encourage each other. Those are commands from God. And Ephesians says we belong and have a special work to do. You are important. You're that bolt. You're needed. You are important and need people to grow to help in your faith and stuff. So you need people to help you grow. You need them to help you grow. We are interdependent. I need them. They need me. We're both important. And we all should be growing. Christianity is meant to be a movement to take over the world and spread God's love and solve the world's problems. And Jesus is the only answer. Okay. Also, it matters who you hang out with. You hang out with fools, you become a fool. You hang out with wise men, you become wise. Tell me your friends, and I'll tell you your future. That's so true. And studies show you become the average of your five best friends. Maybe they don't do bad things, but man, you want to hang out with people that have a destiny. They're going to impact the world and make a difference. And Proverbs says, do your best friends sharpen you? Do they make you sharper or a better person? So fill out the review and do some triggers in your life. You might not have a lot of people that inspire you in your life spiritually and stuff, but pray that God can bring friends into your life. Be intentional. Start going to youth group, try to meet new people and stuff, and your life will be so much better.